What about you? Today's the day. I'm going to have a go at fixing the biggest problem that is in my lawn today, and that is ugly weed grasses. Let's go. Today we're going to be focusing on one particular type of grass called POA. Now, depending on where you are in the world, you might be from the UK, you might be from Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of places it's all POA, but you might also know it as annual meadowgrass, AMG, annual bluegrass, POA. That's what we're dealing with today. If you look up weed in the dictionary, it's an unwanted plant or a wild plant growing in competition with a cultivated plant. To put that simply, it is a plant in the wrong place at the wrong time. A lot of my problems come from this field. It's covered in a lot of different grasses. The seeds blow into the lawn. Whenever the POA seeds blow in there, then it turns them into a weed. But whenever they're growing here in the field, it's not a weed. Some might say I'm an expert in my field. POA is easy to identify in their lawn. As it lies down, it doesn't sit up straight like the other grasses, but that's how we're going to defeat it. But more on that later. If you want to identify POA in your lawn, it'll be lighter in colour. In May, it'll be seeding like mad. You'll see little seed heads everywhere in your lawn. If you're enjoying this video about weed grasses, if you could smash that like button down below, subscribe for more videos like this. I post regular lawn care tips and tricks and bringing your lawn to the next level. Go ahead, smash that button and we'll get on with it. Let's go. Boom. So before we do anything, let's get the grass cut. So to explain to you what grasses is and how we stop it, we'll have our tuft of grass here out of the lawn. Now, as explained, the POA lies flat, or AMG, it lies flat, and our normal grass it all stands up. So what we want to do is, we either want to try and lift the AMG up so we can get it cut, but that's a lot harder to do. You can do it with a brush. What's considered better is to cut those stems, is to take a knife and cut those stems. Now this can be done with a rake or a verticutter or a scarfire. Verticutting and scarfine are very, very similar, but there's one distinct thing. Whenever you're scarfine, you're more or less scarfine right down to the soil profile. Sometimes you're touching it. Verticutting, we're just looking to take the top off. Verticutting, I'm not looking to go right down to here. We're just looking more just to go across here. We're just looking to tickle the surface. Just enough to cut those lateral stems. If we look at our profile, we just want to run the blades along here. Now, depending on your lawnmower, there's a lot of cylinder mowers where you can pop one head out and put a scarfine or verticutting unit in. Unfortunately, I don't have that, so I'm just going to use my scarfire for it. Because I'm going to use the scarfire, I'm going to make sure that it's lifted well out of the ground, and I just want to tickle the surface, and we just want to cut those stems. We're not looking to get into the thatch and take the thatch out. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do this. So I'll just show you the first method now. Well, you can see there the brush is lifting all this rough grass up. What I'm going to say, or the same thing I always say, if your neighbours see you out brushing your lawn, they're going to think you're nuts. Don't blame me. And then the second method is going to be our springtime rake. And then the third method, we're going to use the scarfire stroke verticutter. So you can see how much It's very effective. This is doing two things. It's lifting the stalks up and it's also cutting them. Okay, so there you go. Now the rake also pulled some material out and it cut the stem, so the rake did a much better job. And whenever we take a close up of the grass, you'll see that it's all standing up. So there are all the lateral stems that it's cut, much like our scarfire. We'll have a closer look between the brush and the rake and see which one did better. So this is the area that's been brushed, and I don't think you can really see the difference, but whenever we come over and we'll have a look at the area that we raked, there's a big difference. We'll have a look at it now. You can see a lot of the grass is just standing up, and if you were to cut that now, you would be able to cut all those bits that are standing up right. Before we start into the scarf fan, I'm going to talk about other factors that can play into you having too much AMG in your lawn. If you want to know where else you can get weed seeds from that come onto your lawn, they can come from a variety of places. Birds literally poop them out. You can carry them on the soles of your shoes when you're walking on the lawn. If you top dress your lawn, I think a lot of mine came from the sand that I put on my lawn last year. Regular aeration. AMG has shallow roots, and a compacted lawn will favour weed grasses that will grow. If you keep your lawn aerated, you're going to encourage the grass that you do want over the grass that you don't. Watering your lawn properly will help. If you have a dry spell, lots of light soakings will encourage AMG. It's much better to water the lawn for longer and less frequent. This gets the water soaked down, and the grass has to use its roots to get the water. We've tried the brush and the rake. The brush did not a very good job. The rake did a pretty good job. It'll only get you so far because it's not cutting the lateral growth, it's just really lifting it up, and you can cut it with a lawnmower. Now, for anybody that has an attachment on their lawnmower, that if you have a cylinder mower and you can take the one head out and one head in, you ideally want to be doing this in May and June. That's whenever you start to see all the seeds. You'll start to see all the seeds popping up in May, and that's why the lawn looks so bad. As you seen earlier, it was just a sea of white because of all the POA seeds. So that's whenever you want to do it. Now, if you're going to be doing it, as I say, little and often is key. Keeping the units or the blades high, so as the verticutting units are just really scratching the surface, cutting those lateral growth and lifting the grass up, and then give it a cut afterwards. Okay folks, now something that's surprised me, the area here, this was the area that we raked. It's all sitting up. It's sitting up a lot higher than the rest of the lawn. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but that grass isn't really sitting up, whereas the bit that we raked, it's all just sitting lovely and proud. Get the lawnmower out and give it a cut. Whenever you're doing it, it's important to follow the stripes that you cut with a verticutter, because all that grass is sitting up and you want to get the best cut you can on it. If you start going across it, you're not going to get as good an effect. After a few stripes, you can see the amount that come out, and it's all the thicker grass, all the horrible, ugly weed grass I want to get rid of. You can really see the difference there. If you've enjoyed this video on weed grasses, I think you'll also enjoy this one. Watch this next. Go ahead, click that.